everyone, this is Alan, and today we're going to give you some tips on preventing the disengaged online student.
Tip number 1, call them or maybe even text them. This will take some groundwork at the beginning of the term. You'll need to gather some good phone numbers. A survey in Angel or a form in Google might be useful for this.
Tip number 2, make logging into class a regular necessity. No one likes busy work, but if there's a regular expectation of practice built into your online course, students will find themselves in the habit of logging in.
Tip number 3, find out who is not logging in. With Angel, an agent can be created to alert you as to who has not logged in recently, say the last week or so. Then you can decide what needs to be done. A first step would be to let the college's retention specialists know.
Tip number 4, make assignments relevant and meaningful. Talk about your course outcomes with your students. One activity might be to invite students to discuss or submit to a Dropbox all the ways they could prove to you those course objectives have been met.
Tip number 5, explain expectations. Expectations require explanation. Yours are different from your students. Students might enter an online course expecting to soak in knowledge, while the instructor expects them to explore and seek out knowledge.
Tip number 6, pre-assess your students' readiness for online learning. Provide them with a short pre-survey or provide tutorials for e-learning and online learner success.
Tip number 7, include a time management activity. Online learners often struggle with making time to study and prepare for their online courses. Help them establish realistic and regular study habits.
Tip number 8, introduce variety and ownership into your assignments. Allow for self-expression and creativity through multimedia tools like YouTube, Prezi, Audacity, and others that we've featured here in the past.
Tip number 9, add a regular webinar element to your course. We still want our online courses to appeal to those who work full-time or otherwise have real-world schedules, so these would need to be recorded and available asynchronously as well. The idea that your course is more than a canned set of materials establishes a culture of communication and study.
Tip number 10, whenever possible, personalize your communication with students. Good feedback is often where the learning happens. They want to hear from you.
We understand some of these tips may be controversial or prove difficult for your discipline.
You might even feel that these disengaged students have the right to disengage and it's up to them, not you, to re-engage. You make a good point. However, student engagement is a predictor of student learning. The more your students feel part of the course, the more likely they are to succeed.
Thanks for watching.